It's our values. We have to maintain our values. You know, General Jack Vesey, he was the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said to John McCain about how we're conducting ourselves now, it's unprecedented, torturing, the kind of treatment of the detainees. And he said, any information that you might get, even if it's accurate, most of it isn't when you're torturing people, any information you do get will be so far outweighed by the undermining of our moral values and the image of the United States throughout the world. So it's not just refraining from torture, that's a symptom of how we are starting to become like those governments from whom we've always been so proud to distinguish ourselves. That is the greatest challenge we face in terms of maintaining our values.
We now move to the last agenda item, which is a 2-minute closing statement from each of our participants. First opportunity for 2 minutes goes to Sean Hannity.
I just want to reiterate one thing. You know, I will tell you this. This is the serious thought of the night, is the brave men and women that are serving us that are in harm's way. And the only thing I can say, you know, one of the things I really have appreciated how open that all of you in Salt Lake City have been to me and our program on radio and on Fox News. You've opened your heart to me many times as I've been in town, and I want to thank you for that. And thank you for being here tonight. And Mr. Mayor, even though we disagree passionately, I think the free exchange is healthy. I think it's good for the country. I want to say one thing. What I love about Salt Lake is the values that you stand for. You're known as a community of faith, a community of prayer, which I think is the foundation of hope for all of mankind. And I just want to say in closing, I want to run this tape because, you know, I want to give the last word and my word tonight. I was in Iraq, and I met the troops, and we had this little impromptu town hall meeting. And I think they comment and reiterate how the politics here is hurting them. So I'll give the last word to these guys that I had the distinct honor, privilege, and pleasure of meeting when I was in Mosul, in Iraq.
We all love the troops.
What do you all think of your thoughts on it? You heard the Secretary of Defense. You hear the President. You know that this is very political back home. What are your thoughts about all that?
Look. We are all soldiers. We serve at the least of the President. You know, you can hear what all you want. 99.9% of the soldiers who are on ground have taken a vow and an oath to do this. So we do it honorably. And we're glad to actually do it.
We've had politicians say we can't win this war. You heard John Kerry's comments. You heard John Murtha's comments. You heard the attacks against the President.
By those politicians saying that we can't win the war, that to me is telling that they don't have any faith in us. They have no faith in us. So they believe in us, and they cannot put their trust in us. This is not a job. In any way, shape, or form, this is not a job. This is a lifestyle. And we choose this type of lifestyle.
Knowing the danger.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the definition of bravery and sacrifice? Mm-hmm. And you do it because why?
Because I want my children and everybody else that lives in America to have the same freedoms that I have.
If I could say one last thing. They're the ones in our hope and prayers tonight and every night. God bless you. Thank you, Salt Lake City, for coming out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And we'll reserve an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I will give you an opportunity to more fully express that appreciation, but at this point, let me provide a 2-minute opportunity to Mayor Rocky Anderson. Mayor Anderson.
Thank you for joining us.
And I'll give him more than 2 minutes. You got it.
And thank you, Ken.
This time I won't need it. The greatness of our nation is not a given. It is great because of its history, its traditions, and the values that we, as all Americans, share. Sadly, the greatness of our nation has been severely compromised. We are militarily occupying a country whose citizens have suffered immensely as a result. A nation that posed no threat whatsoever to the United States. We have been led into this unprovoked, devastating war through the deceit and the utter disregard of international treaty obligations. Every day of the United States presence in Iraq, more terrorism, more hatred, more resentment is building against our nation around the world. More people are dying every day. More people are being displaced, and billions of dollars that could help make a better world are being spent to spread more death, misery, and destruction. Wars of aggression, the disregard for solemn treaty obligations, our Constitution and statutory law, kidnapping, disappearing, and torturing people, historic deficits and crippling accumulated debt, listening in on citizens' communications without a warrant, imprisoning citizens without any due process. This is not America. It is not who we are or what we believe in. To remain silent is complicity. To voice our opposition, to put an end to this disastrous presidency, would send such a vital message to the rest of the world and to later generations. It would be the beginning of healing, the reaffirmation of our moral standing, and a return to a democratic, constitutional government that has been a shining beacon to the rest of the world. Thank you.
Crazy?